today's episode I will be looking once more at my build in Coriville. That's the world I'm putting together with my son 6'4". Two things to show you today. The first is my old tin shed. That's right, an Australian tradition, that, the tin shed. And it is made of tin wall. There we go. And a little patina roof. Can't say I'm a fan of the inside of the blocks. It's like a tin or copper sheathing, the particular range of blocks here, with that ruddy canyon stone look underneath, and it just looks pink and gross. I haven't used any of the stucco blocks because I think that I don't like it. What can I say? I just don't like it. Anyway, this is my tin shed, nothing too fancy, just a little square doing exactly in Creativerse what it does in real life, and it is the place where I store all my junk. My tin shed out the back of my house is the place where all the stuff that doesn't fit in my real house, well, it goes in the tin shed. Some people use it for a workshop, and some people use it, like me, just to store the excess junk, and that's exactly what it's doing here in Creativerse, storing all my excess junk, lots of grass blocks and dirt and leaves and all that stuff you accumulate as you go. I'm a pack rat, I can't get rid of any of it. So I store it just in case, you never know. There might be a hole I want to fill, so I'll need some of that stuff. Or I might suddenly get forge crazy and need 5 million blocks of leaves to keep them burning. You never know. So that's the tin shed. My Australianness coming through there. Let me know, is tin shed a thing elsewhere? I know I've got followers around the globe. Just tell me if that's something for you, or whether it's all a garage or whatever else it is you people do. Okay, the second thing is a chess set. This is something that's been boiling away in my mind for quite a while, ever since I realised that the tops of the regular stone block and the peak stone block matched, like so, and I thought, oh, well, I could get a really nice two-tone effect going with that. And as I was playing around with it and having a look at how the effects went together, I immediately thought, oh, like a chess set or a chessboard, you know, that's two-tone colours. So I started building it at last, but I looked at it and I just felt the contrast wasn't strong enough. It is a definite contrast, but just not enough for a chessboard for me. So I played around with lots of blocks, and this build took ages because I had a vision in my head, and it was just constantly, let's try this block, nah, it doesn't work, let's try this block, nah, it doesn't work, playing around, just trying to get the right look for all sorts of manner of things. Now it's inside a nice walled compound, and in a game sense the idea is that you've got lots of fierce wild beasts in there. You've got to keep them contained from the general populace, but in reality it's just to keep all the other mobs out, because I got sick of pigsies and those little pebble dudes wandering all over my chessboard and just ruining the aesthetic of it all. So that's my formidable banded weathered wood wall construction with some nice iron bars in there. The lighting construct, that was something. That's what we ended up with. Let's just say that. We tried everything. Me and 6'4" were looking at it. Nah, that doesn't work. This doesn't work. That doesn't work. In the end, this seemed like the best of our options. If there's more lighting options come up, we'll definitely be exploring that. One thing I'm really disappointed about is how the gas lamps attach, because they attach low down in the block. Plus, they're really yellow, which is a real stark design choice. I like the white light, but I also like a sort of a neutral lamp. Not something that is its own colour display. Anyway, here's the tower for the first player. This is the diamond player with the white pieces. So what I've gone for here is just the idea of, like, sort of the idea of two chess masters. Oh, these ladders. Oh dear. Okay, can we stay on this time? Yeah. So we've got two grand chess masters overlooking the board, moving their pieces, making strategic decisions. Well, that's the idea. Of course, in the game, as if these mobs are terrible to move around. That's when they're not asleep. Hello, wake up, pigsies. Hello. Anyway, The time it took to position them and get them facing the right way and all of that sort of stuff. Oh, ages. Fussy and finicky, but I was just that stubborn-minded enough that I was going to persevere until I had them all as close as I possibly can. And you'll notice a couple of the mobs are maybe a little bit forward or a little bit back. That was the case of, for the 10th, 15th, 20th time, stuff it. Close enough. Okay, so here's the board. What I ended up going with is salt blocks for the white and asphalt for the black, and the textures on it actually do match. The salt's a little too bright for you to see it very well, but they do work very well together. Obviously it would have been nice to have solid squares, but instead I've gone with the recessed lighting, just simply because if I hadn't have done that, I would have had to have some sort of light scaffold. Obviously there's too much space in there to light it all, and so that's just simply some green tourmaline glass there with a lantern underneath. My new obsession is the recessed lighting. It's everywhere now. I love that the glass, if you haven't seen any of my previous videos, I'm really loving the fact that the glass doesn't change the clean white light, so you can have the nice colour and the nice effect, but you're still getting a well-lit space. I'd use your Arctec torches and things way more because they look awesome, except that it makes everything blue. So you go to all the trouble of choosing this perfect white block, and then it looks bluish because you've got a blue light. Go figure. Anyway, so that's the reason for these glass blocks in the middle of the squares. Now, before I get into the pieces, I'll just show the outside here. I've got some nice iron roof here. I really like this pyramid-y effect here in the corner where they all match up. I don't know, just something about that triangle looks nice. Along here we've got Lumite roof, making a very nice pattern effect. All that is simply I've just taken the Lumite roof and revolved it around basically. See, so you can see you've got that edge pattern there, and when you match two of them up, like, where are we at? Pressed the wrong button. Anyway, you get the idea. You put two of those edges together, you get this nice pattern. The shading doesn't quite match, but close enough, and I really like that effect. Just a very interesting path on the side with just some Lumite blocks. We've got your black tower over here, which is your Lumite player versus your diamond player. Now for the pieces, I think the pieces make excellent pawns. They chose themselves for that role, and they really look nice standing all there in a row, unless they're asleep. Ugh, these guys. Anyway, now with the rooks, or castles if you prefer the more common name, I've basically only gone for the leafies for this. They're a little underwhelming, I know, for a rook piece, basically because I only had so many options with the corruption mobs, and the corruption leafy does look pretty awesome. I mean, seriously, look at that. That is cool. Now, I had some idea of maybe putting them on a pedestal. You do see that with real chess sets, where they have a smaller piece, they'll put it on a stool or something just to make it look more like they're in a castle tower or something. But I mean, frankly, to get them even on that close to the block was so hard. I wasn't about to start playing around with trying to get them to stand on a table. Yeah, life's too short. We've got the Chisets for the knights, and when you see them attack, they do a little circular sort of attack function. It just sort of seemed natural, because when you think of a knight's movement, I don't know, it just seemed to fit. Now, a Miru for a bishop. I mean, look at that domed head. He just chose himself. So that was a pretty easy choice. For the king, I've gone for Rocksters. Now, there's no corruption Rockster, only a knight one, so I've gone with that instead. So a little bit of a colour clang there. Apart from that, everybody else works. The reason why I chose Rockster is because they look formidable, they look serious, but you know, they're not that difficult. They're slow, they're clumsy, Perfect for the king. He's supposedly the most, you know, the most important piece on the board, but geez, he's near useless. Uh, and well, the thing for the queen, absolutely most powerful piece in the game, had to be most powerful piece on the board. And I mean, it makes for a very beautiful queen. And quite frankly, I do find that things, I don't know, a little bit feminine. I don't know, is it the eyes or something? Or just the way they've really worked with shades. I don't know, is that wrong of me to say? But anyway, that's the queen. That's the black pieces. The only difference with the light side is obviously there's no light version of a thing, and I've gone for the Rockstar. Powerful. Okay, he's not that fast, but he's definitely a strong, powerful piece, a real presence, perfect for the queen, who is the biggest, best piece on the board. And yeah, I find that's a perfect fit too. And they can be feminine, why not? And so yeah, that's Creativerse Chess. That's my design. Do you agree with it? Have I chosen the wrong pieces? Have I put the king in the wrong spot? I always get that wrong. The king and the queen. You can tell me that. Are you sick of seeing me fall off ladders? Drop a like, a comment, argue with me. I might even respond and be nice about it. And maybe one day, if they get to working on the mob dynamics and how you can move and place them, I might even show you a real game, like an actual game of chess. Me and 6-4, he does like the game, and it would actually be competitive because I really am not that good at it. So yeah, Creativerse Chess. Remember, let me know what you think, and I'll catch you next time on 2 Indoor Gaming.